A solid hunting rifle is a non-negotiable for preppers. It's a must-have investment since it will let you do stuff that could help you survive in the event that things go south. Of course, you can choose any of the hundreds of hunting rifles on this God's green earth. But if you want some no-nonsense recommendations, I got you covered. Fellow preppers, this is Ted from Ant Prepper, and today I'll be dropping some of my top choices for a hunting rifle that you should seriously consider buying anytime soon this 2025. But before I begin, I humbly ask each of you to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Those little clicks will help me create more videos that are helpful to preppers and those who simply want to survive this crazy world. Now let's get started. Remington 700. Boy, the Remington Model 700 has been around for decades, and there's a damn good reason why it's still one of the most popular hunting rifles out there. It's built to last, built to shoot straight, and built to give you confidence when you're out in the field. I've taken mine on more hunts than I can count, and it never let me down. Whether you're after deer, elk, or even long-range varmint, the Model 700 just plain works. It's one of those rifles that feels like an extension of your own arm when you shoulder it. One of the key features of the Model 700 is its iconic action, which is one of the strongest and most reliable bolt actions ever made. The receiver is machined from solid steel, giving it the kind of durability you just don't find everywhere. That cylindrical design not only makes it super strong, but also ensures consistent bedding in the stock. Of course, this means better accuracy shot after shot. The bolt itself has dual opposed locking lugs and a recessed bolt face, keeping everything locked up tight when you're sending rounds downrange. Plus, it's got a 90-degree bolt throw, which gives plenty of scope clearance. Cycling that action is smooth as butter. No binding, no catching, or whatever. One of the big reasons the Model 700 has a reputation for being a tack driver is the barrel. Remington typically uses hammer-forged, carbon steel barrels, and they come in a variety of lengths and profiles depending on the model. The rifling is precise and helps deliver consistent accuracy. A lot of shooters report sub-MOA groups with quality ammo right out of the box, and I can back that up. Mine's always been spot on, especially when I've matched the right load to it. Some models even come with a heavy contour barrel, which helps with heat dissipation and reduces barrel whip when you're squeezing off multiple shots. That's key if you're out at the range, fine-tuning your load, or lining up a second shot in the field. The trigger on the Model 700 has been through a few iterations over the years, but the modern versions come equipped with the X-Mark Pro trigger system. It's externally adjustable so you can dial it in just the way you like it. From the factory, it's usually set around 3.5 pounds, but you can tweak it lighter if that's your style. The break is crisp with minimal creep, which makes it easy to stay on target without pulling the shot. A good trigger makes a huge difference when you're trying to make a clean, ethical shot at longer ranges, and this one doesn't disappoint. Meanwhile, one of the more underrated aspects of the Model 700 is its versatility. Remington has chambered it in just about every popular hunting and long-range caliber you can think of, from .243 Winchester to .300 Winchester mag and beyond. That means no matter what game you're after or how far you plan to shoot, there's a Model 700 configuration to fit your needs. Plus, a lot of them come with a hinged floor plate magazine or even detachable box mags on some models, giving you quick reloads and easy unloading at the end of the day. Marlin 336. It's never a secret that the Marlin 336 has been a staple in deer camps and backwoods cabins for generations. If you've ever hunted in thick brush or rugged terrain, you know that not every rifle is up to the task. You need something that's quick to shoulder, easy to cycle, and tough enough to take a beating without losing accuracy. That's essentially where the 336 comes in. It's not flashy or over-engineered, similar to the Remington 700. However, it's built to put food on the table and keep running no matter what. With that smooth lever action and the proven punch of .30-30 Winchester, the 336 is everything you need when the shot counts. The first thing that stands out about the Marlin 336 is its solid lever action design. In particular, it's built with a solid flat-top receiver that's been drilled and tapped for scope mounts. The receiver itself is made of forged steel, giving it the kind of durability you can rely on when you're deep in the woods or out in rough terrain. Another thing I really appreciate is how it balances just right when you bring it up to your shoulder. That makes a big difference when I'm trying to get on target fast, especially in dense cover. The walnut stock on this rifle isn't just about good looks, though it definitely has that classic appeal. It has a satin finish that resists the elements while giving you a comfortable, solid grip. The stock design also helps with recoil management, keeping the rifle controllable when you're cycling follow-up shots. And when it comes to those quick follow-ups, the smoothness of the lever action really shines. Marlin's been perfecting this design for decades, and it shows. The action glides without any unnecessary resistance, which means you're not struggling against the gun when you're chambering a new round. One of the biggest selling points of the Marlin 336 is its 30-30 Winchester chambering. This cartridge has been a proven game-getter for more than a century, and for good reason. It has the right balance of power and manageable recoil, making it ideal for taking down deer, hogs, and even black bears at reasonable distances. The 20-inch barrel length strikes a great balance between maneuverability and ballistic performance, giving you the velocity but without the rifle becoming unwieldy. Accuracy is another area where the 336 holds its own. Marlin uses micro-groove rifling in the barrel, which helps improve accuracy and reduce fouling. It's a difference you can actually notice when you're stacking shots at 100 yards. Pair that with the easy-to-use iron sights, an adjustable semi-buckhorn rear, and a ramp front sight, and you've got a setup that's as practical as it is effective. If iron sights aren't your thing, the rifle's receiver is drilled and tapped, so mounting an optic is a breeze. Reloading is straightforward thanks to the side-loading gate, which is a must-have when you're topping off rounds on the move. It's a lot easier and safer than some of the old tube-loading designs. Plus, the tubular magazine holds 6 rounds, which gives you enough capacity to run it through. Weatherby Vanguard Obsidian. The Weatherby Vanguard Obsidian just feels right the moment you shoulder it, which is surprising, considering how cost-efficient this thing is. This rifle's built to take on whatever the wild throws at you while still nailing long shots like it's nothing. Weatherby always had a reputation for rugged and reliable rifles, but the Vanguard Obsidian steps it up a notch for guys like us who take survival seriously. Right off the bat, what caught my eye was that Monte Carlo composite stock. It doesn't just look good with the matte gel coat and spiderweb accents. This thing is built to take a beating and keep on firing. It's lightweight but still durable. That raised cheek piece is just money, giving me a consistent cheek weld every single time, which would also really matter to you when you're out in the wild trying to line up that one shot that counts. Plus, the stock design helps manage recoil, so I'm not fighting the gun for follow-up shots. The barrel on this thing is a cold hammer-forged piece of steel, and I can tell it's made to last. It has a bead-blasted matte blue finish that cuts down glare and keeps rust at bay, even when I'm out in nasty weather. Weatherby guarantees sub-MOA accuracy right out of the box, and they aren't kidding. It's factory tested to shoot a 3-shot group under an inch at 100 yards, and apparently, it's not just some marketing gimmick. I've taken mine to the range and put it through its paces, and it delivers tight groups consistently, whether I'm shooting factory loads or hand loads. One of my favorite parts about the Obsidian is the adjustable 2-stage trigger. It's set at about 2.5 to 3.5 pounds from the factory, but you can dial it in how you like it. The first stage takes up the slack, and then it just breaks like glass. Having that kind of crisp, predictable trigger really makes a difference, especially when you're all pumped up and dealing with a little buck fever. It just keeps you locked on target without pulling your shot off. Now, the action on this thing is about as smooth as it gets. The Vanguard action has a one-piece machined receiver with dual opposing locking lugs, and the bolt itself is fluted to shave off some weight and keep it cycling like butter. I'm a big fan of the oversized bolt knob because I can work it fast, even when I'm wearing gloves. Plus, that 90-degree bolt throw gives me plenty of room to clear my optic without banging into it. It's just well thought out all around. One of the things I appreciate is the hinged floor plate magazine. Depending on the caliber, it holds up to 5 rounds, and when it's time to unload, you just pop it open with zero fuss. It's solid and dependable, and I never worry about it hanging up or jamming. Speaking of calibers, I run mine in .300 Winchester mag, and it hits like a freight train while still being manageable with the way the rifle's balanced. The 24-inch barrel strikes a nice balance between velocity and portability, which is crucial when I'm moving through the brush. Browning X-Bolt 2 Western Hunter LR. One rifle that can handle basically anything the backcountry throws at you is the X-Bolt 2 Western Hunter LR from Browning. This rifle was built with serious hunters and survivalists in mind, especially those who don't shy away from long-range shots and rugged terrain. For me, it simply gets the job done, whether I'm glassing for elk at dawn or lining up on a mule deer at 600 yards. But what really makes the X-Bolt 2 Western Hunter LR stand out is the way it balances ruggedness with precision. Basically, the core of this rifle is its fluted, heavy sporter contour barrel, which is made from high-quality steel and topped off with a removable muzzle brake. That brake not only cuts down on felt recoil, but also keeps you on target for faster follow-up shots, which comes pretty handy when you're out in the open and don't want to lose your sight picture. Plus, the barrel's threaded, so if you're looking to toss in a suppressor or a different muzzle device, you're good to go. Accuracy-wise, this thing's a tack driver. The barrel's free-floated and hand-chambered to squeeze every bit of precision out of it. I've seen it put rounds right on top of each other at 100 yards with premium factory loads. The stock is another thing that sets this rifle apart. It's built from Veritech composite material with an Ovix camo pattern that blends right into just about any terrain, ranging from sagebrush flats and dense timber. It's lightweight but tough as nails, so you don't have to worry about banging it up when you're treading rocky slopes or thick underbrush. The grip and forend are textured just right. It's grippy enough to stay secure in your hands, but not so aggressive that it causes your gloves to tear up. Plus, it has an adjustable comb, so you can dial in your cheek weld no matter what optic you're running. Speaking of optics, the X-Bolt 2 Western Hunter LR makes mounting them easy with its integrated X-Lock scope mounting system. It uses 4 screws per base instead of 2, which locks the scope down tight and keeps it zeroed even after a rough ride or a long trek through the mountains. I paired mine with a good quality long-range scope, and it holds zero like a breeze. The rifle's got a short throw bolt, 60 degrees to be exact, which means you're cycling rounds faster without your hand hitting the optic. That's a small detail that makes a big difference when speed matters. The alloy DLX trigger on this rifle is another thing worth talking about. It has Browning's adjustable feather trigger system, which comes from the factory at a crisp 3.5 pounds, but can be adjusted to your liking. There's zero creep and a clean break, which really boosts accuracy, especially when you're taking those long-range shots where every little movement counts. The Plus magazine system is another nice touch. It feeds reliably and offers the extra cartridge capacity needed for those extra shots. Seekins Precision Havoc PH3. The Seekins Precision Havoc PH3 isn't just about putting meat on the table. It can also do so with unmatched accuracy and confidence, no matter the terrain or conditions. From its modular action to the hand-bedded stock, this thing's all about quality and performance. One of the standout features of the Havoc PH3 is the PH3 action itself. It's precision-machined, rugged, and designed to be interchangeable with the Seekins M3 chassis and stocks, which gives you some serious versatility. It has a 3-lug bolt that's toolless and removable, which makes maintenance a breeze. Whether you're running a Magnum or standard bolt, it's set up for quick swaps. That 60-degree bolt throw makes for super smooth cycling and gives you plenty of clearance when you're running a big optic. Plus, the oversized bolt knob is a nice touch, especially when I'm dealing with cold hands or gloves. One of the best things about the PH3 is the Seekins quick change barrel system. If you're the kind of guy like me who likes to switch out barrels or calibers, this is going to be your best friend. You've got open source headspace and tenon specs, which makes it compatible with a ton of aftermarket options. The barrel itself is made from 416R stainless steel and features a 5/8 by 24 threaded muzzle, ready for your favorite suppressor or brake. It's a true match-grade barrel, and I've yet to see one that doesn't hold sub-MOA accuracy. Up top, you've got an integrated 20 MOA Picatinny rail, giving you plenty of elevation adjustment for those longer shots. There's also a full-length MLOK rail integrated into the chassis, so you can mount whatever accessories you need without adding extra weight or bulk. The stock on this rifle is a game-changer. Seekins went with their PH3 carbon composite stock, which is not only lightweight but also rugged. It has an adjustable cheek riser that lets me dial in my sight picture perfectly, no matter what glass I'm running. The ergonomics are spot on, with a vertical grip angle that keeps your hand in a natural, consistent position. The trigger is a Trigger Tech adjustable model, letting you fine-tune the pull between 2.5 and 5 pounds. It's crisp and clean, with zero creep, breaking like a glass rod every single time. That kind of precision is crucial, especially when you're taking those longer shots where every ounce of pressure matters. Another thing that really shows how well thought out this rifle is the extended cartridge's overall length capability. It allows up to 3.14 inches in 6.5 PRC and 3.9 inches in .300 PRC and .300 Win Mag, giving you the freedom to load longer, heavier projectiles without worrying about feeding issues. It's just one more reason this rifle's a no-brainer if you're serious about your long-range game.